Hey guys, welcome back to the Weekly Huddle YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Weekly Huddle podcast. It's the last one before the draft because, hey, today is draft day. You know, the big day I've been waiting for months, and I've been doing all of my scouting and stuff behind the scenes, and today I'm going to be bringing you my last predictive mock draft, what I personally think is going to happen. Not what I would do like my previous mock drafts have been. This is what I think is actually going to happen on tonight's draft of the first round. But first, just because I saw this today, and it really bugged me. We're gonna do a quick dive into the Bleacher Report scouts big board. It's bad, you guys. It's really bad. So real quick, we're just gonna dive right into that. So there are 4 guys who run this Bleacher Report thing. When it's Matt Miller left and all these other guys came in, they did over 300 prospects, but there's the 4 of them. So I feel like even me, who's only done 150 prospects myself, I feel as though you can get some decent coverage with 4 people covering specific positions and then cross-checking things like that. So there are a couple discrepancies I have with this. I'm just going to use their position-by-position breakdown to really hammer home some of the points I'm going to make. First up, best arm strength, Trevor Lawrence. No, that's not the case. I would say Davis Mills has a better arm strength. Zach Wilson has a better arm strength. Justin Fields has a better arm strength. Trey Lance, he might be equal to like Trey Lance. He has the arm strength to complete NFL throws, but it's not like he's gonna be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes kind of guy. It's just not realistic to say that. So that's the first one I had. That's just a minor one. Running backs, they got best power is Javonte Williams, which I can maybe see, but like at the same time, Najee Harris is in this draft. You have him at best hands. So why isn't he the best power? Because he's the best power back in the draft class. Javonte Williams is a close second. But, like, I don't think there's anyone who would argue that Najee Williams isn't the best power back in this class. Like, I don't even know. And now this is the one I really wanted to detail. Best hands, Devonta Smith. I got that. Best route running, Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman is also their second wide receiver over Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle. You have Devonta Smith one spot above Rashad Bateman on this like best hands thing, and he's not your best route runner. That's literally, he is like one of the best route runners I've seen coming out of college. Rashad Bateman has some decent like deep routes, but like he's not like phenomenal. Like, Devonta Smith is, like, elite at route running right now, and he's, like, that's, like, his main thing. How are you going to tell me Rashad Bateman has the best route running in this class? I haven't done this read more thing that they have here. I might do it off camera in a second just to see what it was, so I don't run into something. Maybe it's, like, their individual scouting report on him, but, like, Jesus. Most pro-ready, Rashad Bateman, I'd say Devonta Smith again, or maybe even Jamar Chase could be that, but I'm not going to argue that much with it. I think Bateman has more room to grow as a route runner, but obviously they think he's the best route runner. Whoever these, I don't see it. I don't understand. Props to them giving Antonio Nunn some shout outs, but like, they have Cornell Powell above Dwayne Eskridge, and Nico Collins, Seth Williams above Dwayne Eskridge. And they have Tim Oranteri at 24, and they have Josh Palmer at 15 and Simi Fehoko at 16. Like, I've done most of my damage at scouting and wide receivers. This is ridiculous. I can't even right now. This is insane. So just enough today, I did hit the read more tab on that Rashad Bateman thing. It is their draft profile on him, and it doesn't help their case. Like, they make him, they compare him to Reggie Wayne, and like, oh, he's this really good route runner, no wasted movements, doesn't look robotic. I'm like, yeah, but have you seen Devonta Smith route running? You have him ranked above him by quite a bit points, 0.25. Or 0.15, sorry. No, 0.25. My math was right. Should have trusted myself. And you don't have him as best route runner. I saw this, and this is what made me want to add this at the beginning of the podcast. I'm just like, this is insane. Tight ends, nothing really here to argue with, really. Offensive tackles. I think the only thing I'd be most adverse to is the pro-ready one, being Devin Jenkins. I think Elijah Vera Tucker, if you count him as offensive tackle, which I don't think they are, would be most pro-ready. But even if you're not counting him, I'd say Liam Eichenberg is probably the most pro-ready of them. Also, they have Tevin Jenkins at 2. Rashawn Slater, Darrisaw, and then Stone Forsythe at 6. Like, I agree with Samuel Cosme being this far down, but like Dylan Radoon's at 14. This is stupid. This is just stupid. Like, I'm not gonna talk myself up like, yeah, these guys are getting paid to do this, but like, I would love to see their rationale and like hear what them discussing and looking at the tape with them to see what the hell they're looking at, because I've seen 180-degree different things there. Here's another one that caught my eye. Landon Dickerson, 8th overall player. Landon Dickerson. Like, I'm lower on him than most people are, but I understand he's a good player. He's great at center, but he's gotten injured every single year, or all but 1 year he's played in college. He just recently moved to center from tackle, which, I mean, he showed that he was adept at it, so I guess so. But even then, they don't have him as the top of any of these categories. Best run blocker, Creed Humphrey, agreed. Best pass blocker, Elijah Vera Tucker, agreed. Zone blocker, Drew Dahlman, I'd maybe say, like, I don't know, Ben Cleveland or even Creed Humphrey again. I'd probably say Creed Humphrey again. Most versatile, Elijah Vera Tucker, I think you can go with, like, Quinn Miners there probably, just because center or both guard spots. And then biggest sleeper, Robert Hainsey, I can see that too. But, like, I guess Landon Dickerson could be the most pro-ready guy, just because he did adapt to, like, he did quickly adapt to the system in Alabama, but, like, at the same time, he's not the 8th overall player, guys. Like, what is this? I don't get it. Trey Smith is at 8. Below Kendrick Green and Drew Dahlman. I would kill. Jackson Carman is 12. He's number 4 for me, Jackson Carman. All right, let me double check real quick. Yeah, he's number 4. Or actually, number 3. He's number 3 above Landon Dickerson. And he's at 12. I know I'm higher on him than normal people, but, like, even if you swapped him with Dickerson on my board, I am baffled. He should be, like, 5. Minimum. He's better than Quinn Miners, in my opinion. Just right out the bat, because he played at Clemson and not at Wisconsin Whitewater. So Miners is going to have that jump that he's going to need. And it's just, I don't understand. D lineman, best nose tackle. I have my own personal preference for that, but I'm not going to say that. I say anything about that. Best pass rusher, I guess Barmore would be it, even though I'm not that high on him anyway. Best run stopper, Jay Tufele. Okay, most versatile, Davion Nixon. I think also Digazua would probably be the best, most versatile, or even Levi Wunzuriki. They have Davion Nixon as their number 1 defensive tackle at 11th overall. I don't know what the hell they are watching. I want to sit in with them and really know and watch and listen to what they can conversate about, because Davion Nixon is not a top 15 player. Best speed rusher, Kwity Paye. I'd argue he's more quick than fast. Also, he's not that good at pass rushing to begin with, as is right now in his career. So having him be in the top of any kind of rusher would be disingenuous right now, just because of how underdeveloped his pass rushing is. Best power rusher, Joshua Kando. I don't know why they're so high on Joshua Kando. Where is he on their list? He is 12, I guess so. I'd rather have his Florida State counterpart. What's his name? Janarius Robinson. Best power rusher, I think you could even say, like, Rashad Weaver is 3? Oh, Jesus Christ. Best power rusher, probably like Carlos Basham or Joe Tryon, something like that. Best run stopper, easily Kwity Paye. You can't put Joseph Tsai here or Kwity Paye. Joseph Tsai is too raw and too new to football itself to be considered the best run stopper when you have a guy like Kwity Paye in the draft. Most versatile, Rashad Weaver, I guess, because he can kick into D tackle. I would still argue maybe like a Jason Owe or Gregory Rousseau could be the most versatile. Biggest sleeper, Shaka Toney. I'm not going to argue with the sleepers. Linebackers, best blitzer, Mike Parsons, yes. Red sub, yes. Coverage, yes. Versatile, Parsons. I'd say Owusu Koramoah is the most versatile. And like I said, I just don't want to agree with sleepers. I disagree with Chester being a sleeper. I think a bigger sleeper would be like a Pete Werner, who I respect them putting at 7, or Garrett Wallow. Baron Browning should not be this low. Monty Wright should not be this low. Cameron McGrone should not be this low. Corners, I think Asante Samuel Jr. is a much better man corner, and I think the best zone corners draft is Paulson Adebo, maybe even Greg Newsome. So I disagree with that entirely. Slot corner, obviously, Elijah Molden. Most versatile, I think this would be Asante Samuel, to be honest with you, just because he can play zone schemes. Even though he's not as good at zone as he is man, he's still pretty good. Or Greg Newsome could be the most versatile. I think you can. There's just no way I can agree with these ones either. Biggest sleeper, I'll agree. I can give you Melvin Vaughn as a biggest sleeper. And safeties, best in zone coverage, Javon Holland. He is, if you watched his tape at Oregon, he was specifically like a slot defender and then a safety. And his zone coverage was not his best trait, was his man coverage. So if you just want to go off coverage, then maybe. But you have Trayvon Moehrig, who is great at over-the-top coverage and things like that with the speed. They have the most versatile. I'd argue they just flipped them. Javon Holland is versatile. Moehrig is zone coverage because Holland can play strong safety, free safety, slot corner. I am Nizardine. Okay, I'll agree with that. Maybe I'd argue either Divine Diablo is a better run defender or Telno Hufanga, but that's just splitting hairs at that point. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that out of my system before we started this mock draft. I'm going to power through this real quick, and I want to make this like a 10-minute podcast. So, I just was baffled when I read this, so I wanted to share my thoughts. Okay, now I got my predictive mock. I'll put in a marker at the beginning of the episode to tell you when the mock starts if you don't feel like listening to my rant. And if you did skip to this part in the podcast to listen to just the mock, welcome. You missed me getting really triggered about Bleacher Report, guys who get paid to do this. So this is what I personally think is going to happen in the mock draft first round. This couple picks I'm just going to breeze by because they're the obvious. Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville, Zach Wilson to Jets, all foregone conclusions. First one I want to talk about, Mac Jones to San Francisco. I was always on board with Trey Lance going to San Francisco because of his athletic ability, the fact that Kyle Shanahan talked about Josh Allen after the game against the Bills, and Trey Lance comps favorably to Josh Allen. Trey Lance can benefit with the play action, but Mac Jones can comp favorably to Jimmy Garoppolo in some ways, and they're ready to win now. And when Jimmy Garoppolo was healthy, they were like 23-8 as a record or something like that. So if you can get a cheaper, healthier Jimmy Garoppolo, you should go do that, because then you're already built to win with that kind of quarterback. That would make sense. So I understand. I can make sense of this Mac Jones pick. Even though I wouldn't do it, I can make sense of it. For Atlanta, Kyle Pitts, I don't think they would have moved down. They're only going to move down if someone offers them quarterback levels of money, and they're looking but compensation, and they're looking to get rid of Julio just to recoup some of that lost cap and get some more future assets when they have to eventually hit the rebuild. Kyle Pitts, if you can transition to wide receiver, to be honest with you, full time, but even if you don't and you want to run that 2 tight end system that Arthur Smith liked to run in Tennessee, this is perfect right here. Cincinnati plays so well. There's been talks of this being Jamar Chase. I think they realized that they need to protect Joe Burrow after that horrific knee injury, and I think they're just the talks about wide receivers are just trying to drum up trade interest to jump ahead of them to 4. Miami, there was a report saying that they like Jalen Waddle more than Jamar Chase, so I went with that here, even though I think it makes sense because they're both kind of these downfield threat kind of guys. I don't know if it would make sense, particularly because they added Will Fuller, but Will Fuller is an injury case, so I think they would want to go with the Alabama guy to match with Tua, so I'm going with the rumors here with Jalen Waddle. Detroit, there was a rumor just this morning, after I wrote this came out, that they were debating jumping up to 4 to get Jamar Chase. He falls to them at 7. So them talking about trading up to 4 could make sense with Cincinnati talking about they wanted Jamar Chase at 5, but they get him at 7 here anyway, which if he falls, they're going to snatch him up immediately. So this either tells me they want Jamar Chase, or they were looking to trade before, or both, and Jamar Chase is here at 7, so they're obviously going to take him. I have New England trading up with Carolina to take Justin Fields. There have been a lot of reports that New England and Carolina have a trade already mapped out and everything, so I think they're waiting till draft night to do it. Also, there's reports that New England's obsessed with Justin Fields. If people like him with Mac Jones is gone, and there's been a lot of reports of them going to Justin Fields. He can sit behind Cam, really learn from Cam for a year, or if not, push Cam and maybe even become the starter. Washington trades up with Denver at 9 to get Trey Lance. There's another report that came out just this morning that Washington was looking to get aggressive to trade up. I made this before this morning, so this just plays into what I think of. And also, Trey Lance, comparable to Josh Allen / Cam Newton and Ron Rivera as the head coach there. Just a good fit there. Plus, they have Fitz, so they can allow him to sit for a year. And this team is just really just one good quarterback away from making a run. They can trade up, get Lance, make a playoff push, solidify that coaching staff and the roster, like build that culture up, and then have this quarterback come out year 2 and lead them to something special. Dallas, Rashawn Slater. Now, I didn't want to make this pick because I don't agree that there's going to be no defensive players in the top 10, but there was a report that either Dallas was going to go for Patrick Surtain or Rashawn Slater. And I think, putting myself in the mind of Jerry Jones, I just signed my quarterback to this massive extension coming off an ankle injury, and I have all this capital put in my offense, and I'm going to try to win games with my offense. Putting one piece in my defense is not going to fix my defense. I might as well just protect my golden goose and try to revamp Zeke's career, so I'm going to grab Rashawn Slater. Giants at 11 take Kwity Paye. There was another. I thought this would be Devonta Smith. People were saying that Devonta Smith was going to be like the big. Is like that's Dave Gettleman's guy. It's Dave Gettleman's guy, and he's not really good at hiding who he wants. But at the same time, people are saying that Kwity Paye is his guy. And putting myself in Dave Gettleman's shoes, Gettleman likes those linemen, hog mollies, all this stuff, and they just got Kenny Golladay, plus they have Sterling Shepard. So thinking in the way of Gettleman, who likes his big boys on the D line, and they were talking about he doesn't want to trade back because he's afraid he's not going to get one of his top edge rusher. He takes him here. Reach from me, but like I'm just predicting this at this point. Also, this helps me out with Philly at 12 with San Francisco. They take Devonta Smith. That's the best fit for me personally with what Philly has. So this is what I would do in my draft. I would do this anyway. But I think that the fact that if there was no wide receivers, I don't know what they would do. And I just was hoping that I would get a wide receiver here. And with the Kwity Paye rumors, it was either Kwity Paye or Jalen Phillips at 11 to the Giants. I thought this played out perfectly for what I was hoping or what I was thinking the Philadelphia Eagles would do. 13, the Chargers take J.C. Horn. There were rumors that they would take an offensive tackle, but there's also these rumors about Christian Darrisaw's injury and that Elijah Vera-Tucker is not seen as a left tackle, and that Brandon Staley coming from that Rams defense with Jalen Ramsey, they'd want more of a man coverage shutdown guy, and they're getting linked to J.C. Horn. So I had him taking J.C. Horn here, cornerback out of South Carolina. Next up is Minnesota taking Gregory Rousseau. They were rumored to be getting an edge, plus potentially losing, what's his name? Daniel Hunter. That's his name. Potentially losing Daniel Hunter to either trade free agency because he wants out, grabbing a Gregory Rousseau and maybe keeping Hunter for one more year, or letting him develop behind these more secure pass rushers. Probably would be the move. I also think teams are a lot higher on Rousseau than most of analysts are. I'm higher on Rousseau than most analysts are, but I think teams in the NFL are super high on him. Carolina at 15 after moving down to New England takes Patrick Surtain the second, cornerback out of Alabama. They were linked to J.C. Horn, so they're thinking about getting a corner. And I think this is where the slide for Surtain ends. He probably, if he doesn't go to Dallas at 10, he could probably go to the Chargers at 13, or probably to Carolina at 15 if they trade down. I don't think, maybe Philly, but I think Philly values wide receiver more. 16, Arizona takes Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker out of Notre Dame. They missed out on their two corners they probably wanted, so they're going to get in a guy who can be that big slot or just another safety kind of guy. Another Isaiah Simmons kind of player, where Simmons is a bigger guy, JOK is smaller, so they can fill different roles on the defense while still being those super versatile athletic guys. Vegas at 17, I had to go with a pick I thought is insane for the value they're at, which in my personal opinion is Christian Barmore. Also, they got rid of Maurice Hurst, so I thought it just made sense that they wanted to upgrade that. People thought they would upgrade their offensive line. There's rumors coming out that they're going to ignore that for now and they're going to build it later. So I'm going to go Christian Barmore here. Miami takes Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. Miami is rumored to be looking to upgrade the defense after they get their offensive weapon. And so after that, even though there's the rumors about them going offensive line because of them losing Eric Flowers, I think they're just going to go with the best defensive player available, also with scheme fit, Zayvon Collins, who's the perfect linebacker scheme fit for that Belichickian defense. Denver, moving down to 19th, Washington, still lands Micah Parsons. There's been some rumors he's going to fall and he's going to slip down the board because of his, bullying things in the past, and people are just kind of shying away from those kind of accusations right now. So I think he can fall. Denver, I would have him take him at 9. If you watched my what I would do mock draft, I had him take him at 9, but right now they land him at 19, which is insane. Chicago's been linked to Elijah Vera Tucker, so they can take him here at 20. Just upgrade that offensive line. They need to make sure they need to just start building that offense up because their defense is fine, but adding someone like Andy Dalton, they need to keep him clean to be able to be effective at all. Plus, there's no real quarterbacks here to go. Indy, I have taken Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech. They need to replace the left tackle there. There have been Indy's all over the place in the rumors. They're rumored to really like Jalen Phillips, but there's also talk that teams are overvaluing medical reports this year just because there's so many unknowns. So I think Phillips can fall, and Darrisaw has been reported to be healthy enough for the season this year, and doesn't have that career-ending injury type baggage with him like Phillips does. Tennessee, Trayvon Moehrig, they need help in the secondary. They've also been linked to players in the middle of the field, whether it's a linebacker or safety. I think Moehrig would fit both those needs right there, and it'd be taking him away from a division rival in Jacksonville, which is a popular landing spot for him. The Jets here, with Seattle's pick, they're rumored to be taking an offensive lineman, and I think it makes sense. They need to build up around Trevor Lawrence. They're probably going to spend most of their picks building up, or not Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. They're probably going to build around Zach Wilson a lot more in this draft since their defense they can focus on later with later rounds. Since there's going to be a lot of offensive players, the best offensive players going this early. So they're taking Tevin Jenkins, tackle guard out of Oklahoma State. Just a bruiser, right side guy because they have their left side guy in. I forgot his name. Mekhi Becton. They have Mekhi Becton on the left side. Right side they have Tevin Jenkins. So I like that pick there for them, even if he has to play guard and upgrade over Gregor and Van Rotten or whoever they have there. Pittsburgh, Najee Harris. This is basically a lock for everyone who knows what's happening with the draft, unless someone trades up ahead of them. Jacksonville takes Pat Freiermuth at 25, the tight end out of Penn State. I think that they're either going to take him here or they're going to try to wait till 33 to grab him. I don't know if he'll be there at 33. If they don't take him here, I think Tampa Bay might be a place to grab him, or Baltimore, maybe even Buffalo. So they're most likely going to take him here if they get scared or something like that. So that's what I'm predicting. Pair him up with his old Penn State tight ends coach and providing more weapons to Trevor Lawrence, who has some decent weapons at wideout. At 26, I have Cleveland taking Jalen Phillips, edge on Miami. He is too talented to fall this far despite his concussion issues. He didn't have any injuries this past season, so people are hoping he stays clean. Cleveland did just sign Jadeveon Clowney, but people are rumoring that they're going to be looking to upgrade their front seven still, and Jalen Phillips is just the best edge rusher in this class, so getting him at 26 is probably a steal for Cleveland, and they're going to jump on that as soon as they can. Baltimore 27 takes Landon Dickerson. They need a replacement at center, and he just fits that mold of one to punch people in the mouth, run blocking wise, power runner, stuff like that. Really high character guy. Should be ready to go by the season starts. He was doing cartwheels at his pro day. So they're also rumored to be taking either an offensive lineman and then a wide receiver and then addressing edge rusher later in the draft. New Orleans takes Caleb Farley. There was a rumor came out while I was recording this saying that they're looking to trade up for Farley, and he'll just fall to them here because of injury concerns. There's also a rumor that Farley could fall to the second round. I think that's more smoke, if anything, but New Orleans seems to be the team that is going to be targeting Farley. Green Bay is going to take Rashad Bateman. They've been rumored to be targeting him a lot for a guy from Minnesota to help keep Aaron Rodgers happy. Probably like the fourth best wide receiver, not the second best, Bleacher Report. And so I think this is just to make Rodgers happy, to build around Devontae Adams and Rodgers and try to just make him not retire. And because they haven't done it yet, people are still skeptical they're going to do it, but I think they finally have to try to take a wide receiver in the first round. I hate this pick, but Buffalo takes Azeez Ojulari, edge out of Georgia. Perfect physical match for Jerry Hughes, who they have on the roster right now. Even if he has to put on weight or really, tone his body up to be able to play at the NFL level, they have plenty of edge rushers, and they're just looking for a playmaker on defense, which Ojulari is at this point in the draft. Baltimore, which is Kansas City's pick after the Orlando Brown trade, takes Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. They're targeting wide receiver. Rashad Bateman was my favorite pick for them here, but Toney's another guy who can work the middle of the field, has room to grow. He can play that slot role, and really, because that's where Jackson likes to throw, is over in the middle of the field. And they have all these gigantic big receivers like a Bateman would be with the guy from Notre Dame, I'm forgetting his name right now, that they drafted a few years ago. Miles Boykin, that's his name is. So they can go for a smaller, shiftier guy in Toney. And then finally, Tampa Bay. I had trouble deciding where I want to go here, but I thought the rumors about them wanting to address the D-line situation now rather than later is probably well-founded. So I had him taking Joe Tryon, edge out of Washington. He can add weight on. He's already got a big frame, so he can add weight on, play your 5 tech and 3-4, or play an outside linebacker role if you aren't confident in JPP's longevity. So I think that'd probably be the best for them. Or they can go D-tackle. Barmore is usually the one I usually have going here in my what I would do. So it can be a bunch of different things. But that's going to be my predictive mock draft. The draft is tonight, so I want to see how badly this ages right away. But yeah, I'm probably going to come back and review it on like Friday or Saturday or something like that, and then post it up on Monday. I'll have my instant grades tonight after the draft. I'll post that up probably around tonight or tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning. Just to give my gut reaction on those things. So if you like this, check out our other podcasts. If not, leave us a mean comment, because comments are still, interaction with the podcast. So other than that, I'm gone. Check me out on Macro Sports. I'm writing there. Like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff.